Welcome into your ESPN.com headlines. I'm Dario Melendez. Teddy Bridgewater says he is just fine not being the Vikings starting quarterback at the start of the regular season. With more on this, we welcome in Vikings beat reporter for NFL Nation, Ben Goessling. And Ben, what's the likelihood that Bridgewater won't be the starting quarterback for the Vikings at the beginning of the season?
Well, I think it's higher that he won't be the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season than it is that he won't start at some point this season. I think they'll probably give Matt Castle the benefit of the doubt. They signed him to a 2-year deal. They kind of had this idea that they want anybody who came in as a young quarterback to have a red shirt year, or at least not have to come in with the pressure of you've got to start week one. So I would expect, unless Bridgewater is so good and so obviously the best quarterback they have in training camp, that they will start the season with Matt Castle. And obviously if they do that, they're hoping Matt Castle can get them through the season. But I mean, Matt Castle has been solid, and I think he fits well in Norv Turner's offense. But I think at some point, if Castle is not as consistent as he needs to be to keep the job, and he certainly has had bouts of inconsistency over the years, at least recent years, I think it's very possible Bridgewater will start before the end of the year. I think ESPN Stats and Information, they put something out there the other day saying that 78% of quarterbacks taken in the first round start a game at least at some point during their rookie season. So my hunch is that if things don't go well early on for the Vikings, and their early schedule is pretty tough, that we could see Bridgewater in the middle of the season.
What about the guy by the name of Christian Ponder? You know, they spent a first-round draft pick on him a couple of years ago. Where does he fit into this mix?
Well, he's still on the roster, obviously. I don't think he factors terribly significantly into the quarterback race. I mean, they talked about open competition. They said that any of these three guys could start, but the way they played it in OTAs so far has been Castle getting most of the first-team reps, Bridgewater some, and Ponder has not really gotten many and has not, at least in the OTAs we've seen. I mean, we don't get access to all of them, so I probably should be careful about assuming what goes on the ones that we don't see. But the ones we have seen, Ponder hasn't gotten many first-team reps and hasn't looked very good in the reps he's had. I think at this point he probably needs to change a lot of minds about him to factor back into things. I mean, obviously they signed Matt Castle, they drafted Teddy Bridgewater, and they didn't pick up Christian Ponder's option for next season. So it sort of tells you the direction they're planning to go. I think they have made it pretty clear that they want Teddy Bridgewater to be the guy that takes over from Matt Castle. I mean, stranger things have happened. Christian Ponder could click with Norv Turner and could turn things around, but some of what you need to be able to do in that offense, just being able to make throws on time and being able to throw off of quick drops and being able to hit receivers in tight coverage. We just haven't seen Christian Ponder do that. And Norv Turner's offense is so much about precision and timing kind of throws that it takes a quarterback confident enough to be able to drive the ball down the field. And I don't see that being in Christian Ponder's wheelhouse.
Now, Ben, before we let you go, getting back to Bridgewater, you said you've been at the OTAs, you've seen what Ponder can contribute, you see what Castle can contribute. How has Bridgewater looked thus far in his first OTAs? Well,
he was not at the open OTA last week. He was out at that NFL marketing event in Los Angeles, so we didn't get to see him there. Yesterday was the first time we really got to see him. I thought he looked really good. He made a couple of nice throws, made a really tough throw down the sideline into tight coverage, dropped it in over a defensive back, probably 35, 40 yards down the field on the sideline. But that was it. He made a couple nice throws and crossing routes, being able to put it in between a couple levels, hit a couple corner routes in a red zone drill, and just looked very comfortable. I mean, looks like the guy that the Vikings thought they were getting, in the sense of, especially in the 2-minute drill, he just kind of has this poise about him, saying, and it's not cocky, it's not loud or aggressive or anything like that. It's just kind of this, hey, don't, but I got this. And he marked him right down the field, hit a throw to right over the middle of the field for about 40 yards, and then missed a couple throws, but then got a pass interference in the end zone, and they ran it in and had no problem scoring within 2 minutes. So I thought he looked very good yesterday. And I think so far everything is looking good for Teddy Bridgewater.
Must be the gloves. Well, that is Ben Goessling, Vikings beat reporter for NFL Nation on ESPN.com with the latest on Teddy Bridgewater being okay with not starting the season at the starting quarterback. And remember, for your latest headlines, keep right here on ESPN.com. I'm Dario Melendez.